Hello everybody and welcome back to our tour of America. Today we are leaving Great Falls, Montana, and we are heading to Boeing Field in Washington. I think it's just outside of Everett, if I'm correct. That's where we're headed. It's about 400 something miles, so it's going to be a good flight. Weather is pretty decent, although it's still another windy day here. And today we are flying Mohican, which is from the animated series F is for Family. We'll just take a look at the airplane. Something a little different. Thought it'd be fun to fly. Let's hop in the cockpit and get it ready to go. Alright. Ground crew have her plugged in as per normal. So we'll run quickly through the checklist. Parking brakes are set, shocks have been removed, ground power units connected, throttles are at idle, engine masters off. Batteries are on. External power is connected. The gears are aligning. We get the panel lights up. So this flight kind of completes our northern part of the tour. We'll be on the Pacific coast after this. And then we're, I think, going to start heading, well, I know we're going to start heading south, although I'm not sure exactly where the next point is. It should all be good. Get the overhead panel turned up. Alright, flaps are confirmed up. Spoilers are confirmed retracted. Landing gear lever is down. Fuel quantity is good. Get the signs on, and then we can get the peoples coming on board. Alright, so cabin crew, as soon as you're ready, you can open the gate to get the 123 passengers on board for today's flight. Alright, well, they're doing that. We'll get the rest of the information up and input it into the system. So, first thing we're going to do is load the flight plan. There we go. Flight level of 380 today. And everything is looking good. We will dial this. No, we'll dial this. Haven't got the weather yet. 380, cost index of 25. So our zero fuel weight for today is 54.8 with a center of gravity of 27.21. Our block fuel is 5.8. And our trip wind for today's flight is a headwind of 32. We are flying into the west, so that's going to slow us down slightly. So we should be good there. So we'll go through the rest of the setup once I put in the weather request. There we go. And that is now set. So over on the performance page, flaps 1, and I'm going to do the flex calculation. We've got the current MEDAR, that's all set. The takeoff weight is 61047 kilograms. Now we're going up on runway 21. Flex temp of 40 degrees. There we go. Which will give us a V1 of 128, a V2 or VR of 129, V2 of 133, 18,000 foot transition altitude. And for our flight plan, we are departing runway 21. There's no SID for here. And we are arriving. We can change it if we need to. On the ILS, runway 14 right. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. The one I selected isn't in the system, but we will go with the EPH. Ephrata 8 arrival. See how that works out in the flight plan. Yeah, it's doing some funky stuff like I thought it would. I think what we're going to do is the Odessa is the kind of like the lead-in point for the arrival. So I think once we take off, we'll just head directly there. And that should work out. All right. So 2,000 on that. And I think we're good. We're waiting on everything to warm up. We'll get the APU up and going, and I'll be back once everyone is on board.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I would love to welcome you aboard our flight. When you find your seat, please be sure to place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you. Unless you're in the front row, please place all of your items in the overhead bins. If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist you. If the overhead bin is full after you put your carry-on inside of it, please close the bin as a courtesy to other passengers. Once all your items are put away, please clear the aisle and sit down in your seat to allow other passengers to find their seats as well. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please read the exit seating responsibilities in the safety card in the seat back in front of you. Please make sure you are willing and able to perform the actions required. If you are not able or prefer not to perform these actions, please let a flight attendant know so you can be reseated. You are free to use your portable electronic devices during the boarding process. We ask that larger electronic devices are stowed once we depart from the gate. Thank you and welcome aboard. We are ready to go when you are.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Okay, I will hold.
Alright, so everybody is on board. We will get them to pull the jetway. And there she goes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 09 with service to Seattle. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 23 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare cabin for departure.
APU bleed will come on. APU generators are online. External power can come off. And we can get ready for the pushback. And we're going to go tail to the left.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Roger. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
Let the tug move into position. It does take them a minute.
You are clear behind, and you can start your engines at your discretion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the front of the aircraft for a safety demonstration. When the seatbelt light is on, please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened low and tight across your lap. To fasten, insert the metal fittings into one another. Tighten by pulling on the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the upper portion of the buckle. In the event that the seatbelt light is not on, we suggest that you keep your seatbelt fastened in case of unexpected turbulence. Please take a few moments to now locate one of the several emergency exits on this aircraft.
Parking brakes
In
set.
some cases,
Roger.
this exit
Okay,
may be
the tow
behind
bar
you.
is disconnected
In case of
and
an
the equipment is
emergency, we need
clear.
to
We will
evacuate
see
the
you on the
aircraft.
left side
There is
with
lighting
the
on the
pin.
floor that will guide
Thanks,
you.
and you can disconnect and go to hand
In the
signals.
event that
Thanks.
the cabin
Have a good
loses
flight.
pressure,
See you
an
later.
oxygen mask will drop right in front of you. To start the flow of oxygen, pull the mask towards you. Place it firmly over your nose and mouth and secure the elastic band behind your head.
I forgot the fuel pumps, didn't I?
And breathe normally.
Yes, I did.
Although the bag does not inflate, oxygen is flowing to the mask. If you are traveling with a child or someone who requires assistance, secure your mask first and then assist others. Leave your mask on until a member of the crew advises you it's safe to remove it. In the unlikely event of a water landing, a life vest is located in a pouch under your seat or between the armrests. When instructed to do so, open the plastic pouch and remove the vest. Flip it over your head. Wrap the straps around your waist and buckle at the front. Pull the strap to tight. To inflate the vest, pull firmly on the red cord only when exiting the aircraft. If it doesn't inflate automatically, you may blow into the mouthpiece for manual inflation. This vest is equipped with a
Engine
whistle
1
and
start.
lights that you need
Starting
to
engine
use
2.
and can be used as a secondary location device. Please make sure to exit the aircraft as soon as possible and leave your belongings. Once again, all devices must be in airplane mode and your larger devices must be turned off and stowed at this time. Please securely stow your personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is prohibited by law. All of this information can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. Please read it and let a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
Two good starts. Two good starts. And master comes off. Whoops. And APU comes off. Alright, before taxi checklist. I don't know how that got on. Probe heat comes on. Heading and altimeters. I did do the weather. Altimeter here is 2997. Set, and we will set the standby. $299.07. Standby switch set. Radios, electronics is set. Autopilot is set. Flight directors are on both sides. Auto brake set to max. Flaps are set. Flight controls. Full left, full right, neutral. Full forward, full back, neutral. Left rudder, right rudder, neutral. Alright. So that is set. We can go to taxi light on. And parking brake off. So it's a short taxi. Not too far to go at all. So we're just going to wheel around here to the right and head up to the end of the runway. Well, I hope you're all doing well. It's a great day to go flying. A little breezy, but the skies are clear. I'm gonna have to get the latest dev version of the fly-by-wire mod. Apparently there's been a few improvements to it. And here we are at the end of the runway. Pull up here, do our our takeoff checklist, and get ready to go. So, flight instruments are checked, engine instruments are checked, takeoff data is set, nav equipment is good, lights will come on. De-icing do not need, strobes on, pitot heat do not need, transponder is on, PWS is on, and the weather radar is now on. We will start the chrono and head out, and we will get on our way. This ramp over here is where the Air National Guard aircraft arm their weapons. And this is actually a cargo facility across the way. It seems to have a bunch of GA airplanes parked there. All right. Engines up. Stable. And flex. Nope, she's not flexing. That's 100 knots. V1 and rotate. It's 10 degrees up. Positive rate, gear up. Back. I'll turn on course. I did a direct to the entry point into the arrival rather than going to that other waypoint, which would cause us to have to backtrack. Down to about a 10-degree nose up. Roller straight, and there we go. We'll hold her here through 10,000 feet. Should be good. Beautiful sunny day here. Visited Montana once. Rode my bike down from Alberta and headed down and then went into Yellowstone National Park. It was really beautiful countryside. It's 10,000 feet. So we'll come off on the lights. Strobes will stay on. Taxi light will come off.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing through 10,000 feet. You can now turn on your
Autopilot is
larger
on.
portable electronic devices. As a reminder, please keep your seatbelt fastened while you are seated and do not congregate in the galley or near the lavatory.
We're climbing out. We've got 260 miles to Odessa, and if we look at the Ephrata approach, we have some mountains to go over. We will be traversing the Rockies, and looks like we got to be at 18,000 at Odessa. So I'll watch for that. Although it seems We'll call it 18,000 at EPH. So yeah, EPH will go to 18,000, and that is 60 miles from Odessa. So we should be able to descend. So we're basically at 380 for a while. Enjoy the flight, and we will catch up to you once we are further along and getting ready to start the descent. Well, that's us through 18,000 feet. We're descending down. We're on the approach. We're coming down to 13,000 feet. We're still crossing the mountains, and as you can see, we are in the middle of some pretty heavy cloud. We got a little icing warning a minute ago, and we got some heavy precipitation ahead of us. So there's a step descent we're currently going down. But we're on path, we're on schedule. Start bringing the speed down now. So we're going to be getting down into the lower reaches. The bottoms of the clouds now. We'll leave that at 280. Just looking at the distance we have to go. So about 20 miles out, I'll start slowing us down, and then we got our next altitude drop shortly, probably about in that area there, down to, was it maybe 8,500? Actually, I think we wait until we get to Skyco. So 60 miles to go. bring in the speed brakes. We'll hold at 13,000 now for a while, till I see we're at the correct point to continue our descent. So we're going to be in and out of the clouds for a bit. So I had to change the approach. The winds have come around to the northwest. So we're going to be curving around the bottom of the airport and coming in on runway, I believe it's 34. Right. So there's 3 airports that we're going to be in the area of. There's Renton, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and Boeing Field, which is to the north of Seattle. So we're going to have to kind of keep an eye on where we're going. So the ILS is 110.9. 110.9, okay. This could be interesting because we're going to be crossing very close to Seattle, Washington, SEA. Definitely some heavy precipitation out here. Oh, yeah, you can see it. That's probably due to the mountain effect, where you have the wet clouds off the Pacific coming to the mountains. They rise up, condense, and drop their rain. Which is why you have the Seattle, Oregon force on the one side, and then the deserts of Colorado and Utah and stuff on the other. All right. Gonna punch through these clouds. There's the view. Should pop out again. In and out of the clouds. Probably one of the funner parts of flying than this cloud surfing. So we're going to go over valley in a minute, and then we got some more mountain tops, and then it's the slope down to the foothills, and then out to the Pacific after that. So you can see we're going to start our descent down, so we'll go to 8,500, and then it's down to 6.5 or 6,000. Sorry, it's 10,000. And it's 6,000. Intercept is at 1,800. We'll just work her down over the mountains here. Still sure if we still got icing here or not. Yeah, we are. Okay. We'll leave them on. So again, this is probably part of the issue with not having a VNAV, is that you've got to kind of be doing all this manually. So we're just over the high point now, so once we get through that, we'll start down. So where are we in the flight? An hour and 4 minutes. Expected arrival in 17 minutes. I think we're going to be a little bit beyond that. See with the altitude going up and down, we're getting bounced a little bit. We've got 20 miles to go, and then we start down into the Seattle area. Again, we're in the worst of the weather right now. Not too worried about the mountains. There's nothing really around us, and the maximum height, which is not near us here, is 12,000. I think that the nearest peaks we have are 10,000, so it's 3,000 feet above. And we're pretty much clear of them at the moment. Well, we're over them now, but we're now heading out into the descending landscape. So we've got the altimeter set. I'll throw the lights on just for in case I forget. Ooh, just popped out of those clouds there. Alright, everything is pretty much set.
We have begun our final descent into Seattle. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on items either in the seat back pocket or under the seat furniture.
428 is the decision height. What did I enter? Yeah, it was the wrong one, so it's 428. Oh, that was the other one. Minimum descent altitude. So the next descent will be to 10,000. We're going to have to watch, make sure that the LNAV doesn't decide it's going to go directly to the airport or something. So we'll just keep an eye on that. We'll also start bringing the speed back. Yeah, that's good. So you can come down. You can come down. We are getting bumped around, like I said. It is trying to slow us down first. We're going to need the brakes out to get us down. And back into the clouds we go. So landing systems are on both sides. Landing lights are on, fuel quantity is checked, flaps and gear are up, and speed is set. So there's 10,000 feet coming up. And rain on the windscreen. So once we turn at Huvis, we can descend all the way down because we'll be just clearing the edge of the mountains here just as we come up to it. High ground. And we'll go down to 6,500 feet. Just waiting for that turn to kick in. There we go. Bring the speed back a little bit as well. Definitely said a couple interesting approaches over the last few flights with weather and cloud and rain and stuff. Makes it interesting. So Heather, we got to be at 6,500. And then we start our descent down to 18. Correct, 1,800 feet. And again, we'll see if it's actually going to follow the route around. Back in the rain. Definitely a visually interesting approach. And we still got ice on the wings, eh? 6,500. We are in the approach phase. 10 miles to go. Start bringing the speed back. So gear is set low. Speed brake is armed. Our brakes are set low. Speed brake is armed. It's ILS 10090 KBFI, is that what it is? No, it's should be ICHJ. We'll have to watch for it. Alright, terrain radar on. We know we're in the weather here. miles to go. I see some lights ahead of us. And more rain. Hopefully it will take us on this path. Anticipation's killing me here. Come on. Let's see if you make a left turn. Nope. Manually it is. And down we go. We'll go a little bit wide. Actually, what I'm going to do, if I do that, where is it going to take me? Yeah, it's going to go the other way. That's fine. All right. Flaps 1. ICHJ. ICHJ, that's the one we want. Stay clear of the mountains there. Another aircraft off to our left. Those hills. I'm gonna start our turn this way. "14 miles from the airfield. away from this terrain. We're doing pretty decent. So lacquer here, 2600 is where we should be. I think we'll be about there. So it's just 2600. Should be able to intercept at that point.
2,500. 2,500.
Yeah. That's the rolling terrain there. Cabin. I think we're going to head direct to lacquer and just do the intercept. I think that'll put us 8, 9, 3, 4, 5, 10 miles out. Oh, a bunch of airplanes up there. I think that's all around Seattle. Now these are AI aircraft. Unfortunately, when you're flying on VATSIM and stuff, they don't show up. Would be nice if they did. Oh, holy cow, you can see them all. Alright. Approach mode active. Here we go. Yeah, they're all going into Boeing Field, you can see there. Or Seattle. Boeing Field is actually home of Boeing. That's where they make all the aircraft. 737s and well, they've made 767s, 787s. Although I think they're shutting down the 787 production there. Alright, localizers slowly coming in. 9 miles out. Flaps 2. Looks like there's somebody ahead of us. Gear down. flaps 3. The other airplane is descending ahead of us, or he's 800 feet below us. And flaps full. He should be passing by. There he is. Make it at the airport, just on the other side of this rainstorm. So we got one more band of rain and then we should be clear to the airport. So we are landing on the big runway. Exit to the right. It's kind of cleared up a little bit. Got some hills here on the right. I'd say the airport's in a little bit of a valley.
$500. 100 above. 500.
Railroad tracks underneath us. A little bit of wind over the ridges.
400.
Landing.
300. 300. 300. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30, 20, 10, 5.
Welcome to Seattle. Knots. 60 knots. We'll exit here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Seattle. The local time is 11:48 a.m. and it's currently about 46 degrees Fahrenheit. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
There's another airplane coming in into the wind, or against the wind. with the wind. So there's a terminal down here, which is where we're going to park. We're going to need you up and running, I think. So I think the Boeing factories are up this end over here, I think. Alright, so here's the terminal. I'm sure they're all wondering what this Airbus is doing here. Well, we're visiting. And we're gonna go in here. Just because there's really nowhere to park. This is not a regular type of airport. Gonna park you right here. Alright, parking brake is set. I'm just waiting on the APU to come up. Oh, looks like all the ice is off it. Very nice. And you're coming online. So thrust levers are at idle. No ground contact, no ground operations. Electrical power is now on with the bleeds. So masters come off. Thank you. The beacon's off. That can come off. Everyone can get up and do their thing. And we will shut off all of you. And that does it for today. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you on the next one on our tour of America. Bye for now.
In a few moments, our lovely flight attendants will be starting our in-flight service. We'll be serving complimentary drinks and snacks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. Please note we only accept credit cards.